Hey everyone, and welcome back, Master Builders, to an absolutely epic explainer adventure. I am so incredibly excited today because we're traveling way back in time to the golden sands of the ancient desert. I want you to literally imagine the sweltering heat, the shifting sand dunes, and this massive group of people on a huge journey. Okay, so let's dive right into this. We are looking at what is basically the ultimate construction project of the ancient world. The Israelites, fresh out of Egypt, have just been handed this absolutely massive mission. They need to build a spectacular, shining, holy tent, the Tabernacle, and a giant courtyard to go all the way around it. And the kicker? They have to do it all right in the middle of nowhere.
So right off the bat, you've got to wonder, how exactly do you build a giant, beautiful, holy tent in the middle of a sandy desert? I mean, you don't exactly have hardware stores around the corner. You definitely don't have heavy machinery. But what they do have is an amazing master plan, tons of glittering treasure they brought out of Egypt, and honestly, a whole lot of incredible teamwork. Just picture the bustling energy of thousands of people rolling up their sleeves and getting right to work. It's a challenge of totally epic proportions.
All right, Section 1, the bronze altar. Crafting the centerpiece. Let's get into it.
So the very first major project they tackled was building this giant, fireproof altar. And this wasn't just any altar. It was the total focal point where the whole community would bring their offerings. It had to be huge, it had to be incredibly strong, and of course it had to withstand intense heat. First up, they built this massive hollow box out of super strong acacia wood. And when I say massive, I mean it. It was exactly 7.5 feet long and 7.5 feet wide, making it a perfect square, and 4.5 feet high. Now, obviously, wood burns, right? So they overlaid the entire thing with thick, shiny bronze, even adding these cool horns to the four corners. After that, they crafted all the heavy-duty utensils they'd need. We're talking bronze pots, shovels, basins, meat hooks, the whole shebang. Finally, they added a massive bronze grate with rings and carrying poles so this super heavy centerpiece could actually travel right along with them. Okay, now this brings us to a seriously incredible detail. The text actually tells us he made the basin of bronze from the mirrors of the women serving at the entrance. Now wait a second. Mirrors? Back then, mirrors weren't made of glass like the ones we have in our bathrooms today. They were actually made of highly polished, super shiny bronze. And that brings us to our first major moral of the story, prioritizing God over self. By eagerly giving up their precious bronze mirrors, these women were making a huge sacrifice. They actively chose to stop focusing on their own physical appearance and vanity, and instead they directed their absolute most prized possessions towards spiritual service and purification. They literally gave up looking at their own reflections just to help build something incredibly beautiful for everyone else. How cool is that?
Moving right along to Section 2, the Great Courtyard, Colors in the Desert.
Now that the altar and the basin are done, we need a massive wall to surround this entire sacred space. But we aren't talking about a boring wall of bricks or stone here. We are talking about something far more breathtaking, popping against those beautiful, shifting desert sands. To make the courtyard walls, they created these 150-foot tapestries of finely woven linen for the north and south sides. To put that into perspective, that's literally half a football field of pure, beautiful fabric on each side. And to hold these massive curtains up against the crazy strong desert winds, they used heavy, sturdy bronze sockets as bases and hung the linen using shining silver hooks and silver bands on wooden posts. Oh, and for the front entrance, a magnificent 30-foot gateway screen woven in stunning, rich colors, bright blue, deep purple, and vibrant scarlet yarn. Which really teaches us our second big moral. Faithfulness in the details. Look, when you have a giant project, it's so tempting to just kind of wing it and do things your own way, right? But the Israelites absolutely did not do that. The records provide a totally meticulous accounting of every single measurement and material used. True devotion meant being intentional and extremely disciplined. They followed the exact practical instructions with total precision. I mean, they measured every single socket and wove every single thread exactly as the master plan laid out. All right, on to Section 3. Meet the Master Builders, the creative heroes. Every epic mission needs its heroes, right? And this massive project was spearheaded by two incredible artistic geniuses. Let's officially meet our leads.
First up, we've got Bezalel from the tribe of Judah. He was the ultimate master maker who essentially crafted everything that was ordered. And right by his side, assisting him, was Oholiab from the tribe of Dan. Oholiab was an absolute powerhouse, an engraver, a brilliant designer, and a total master weaver of those beautiful blue, purple, and scarlet colors we just talked about. These two took their amazing, God-given talents and used them to bring the blueprints to life flawlessly.
But hey, Bezalel and Oholiab couldn't do it alone. An absolutely jaw-dropping 603,550 men were counted in the census. And get this, every single one of them pitched in. They each gave exactly half a shekel of silver, which is about 1/5 of an ounce. That might not sound like a lot per person, but that is a massive crowd of people all working together toward one single goal.
And that perfectly sets up our third amazing moral, community stewardship. So what does that actually mean? Well, community stewardship means every single person teaming up, contributing their own resources, and using their unique gifts to build something amazing together. This holy tent wasn't just funded by one super rich king dropping a bag of gold. No way. It was built by the voluntary contributions and the combined awesome talents of the entire community. Everyone had a super important part to play. It's like a giant puzzle where everyone holds a crucial piece. Finally, Section 4, a mountain of treasure, weighing the spoils. Get ready for this. Okay, it's time for the grand finale of our explainer adventure. When you have over 600,000 people pitching in, plus all those amazing offerings of gold and bronze, how much treasure do you actually end up with? Let's check the scoreboard. For the gold offering used in the sanctuary, an incredible 1,930 pounds of gold. The bronze offering, a whopping 4,680 pounds of bronze. And that silver collected from the community census, a staggering 6,650 pounds of silver. Can you even wrap your head around carrying all that metal right through the middle of the desert? But they absolutely didn't just hoard this mountain of treasure, they put every single ounce to work. Out of that massive mountain of silver, they used exactly 100 talents. That's about 6,600 pounds, just to cast the 100 heavy sockets for the sanctuary and the curtains. That's literally one 66-pound solid silver block for each post. The remaining 50 pounds of silver was carefully, meticulously used to make the hooks, overlay the tops of the posts, and make all the fasteners. Everything had a purpose. It's just absolutely breathtaking when you step back and look at it. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on. What magnificent things can you build when everyone works together, uses their unique gifts, and carefully follows the master plan? By prioritizing their holy mission over their own reflections, paying crazy close attention to the tiny details, and practicing ultimate community stewardship, the Israelites built a literal masterpiece in the middle of a barren desert. Wow, what an absolutely epic adventure! Master builders, never stop exploring, never stop using your awesome gifts, and always remember the sheer power of a huge team working together. If you had a blast learning with us today, come join our Master Builder community. Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe. We've got so many more vibrant, action-packed explainer adventures coming your way. See you next time.